welcome to the Busy Rebecca podcast, where I share tips to help you shape your mindset and develop a healthy perspective. A healthy perspective is key, especially when dealing with challenges and staying motivated to keep doing your best. I may not have all the answers, but I encourage you to sit back, pick a lesson or two as I dive in. Today, I'm going to talk about discipline, and not the wake up at 4 a.m. aggressive kind of discipline, but then the quiet, consistent kind of discipline that bridges the gap between knowing what you should be doing and actually executing those things. Because I find that oftentimes knowledge is not enough. Knowing what to do is not enough. And that saying of, knowledge is power. Yes, it is power when you choose to execute the power. Because a lot of us, we know what to do, we know where to go, we know what we need to stop doing, but then we're still not where we want to be. Not because of the lack of awareness, but mainly because of the lack of execution. So I wanted to focus on that today. This is just a gentle reminder, a gentle nudge that there's a lot more power in your hands than you give yourself credit for. So what is it about knowledge? I was thinking about these two categories of people the other day, and it was just an interesting or fascinating fact that I stumbled on. Nothing crazy, but just another angle of things. So two categories of people, Christians and doctors. The reason why I find these two groups of people, amongst other groups, fascinating is because I find that Christians are the most difficult people to evangelize to or to bring closer to Christ. Not because they are trying to be resistant or they're trying to be difficult, but mainly because everything that you generally say, they are aware of. They've grown up in Christian households, they've read the Bible, they know the tenets of the religion, but execution is the problem. Staying disciplined is the problem. Staying consistent is the problem. And therefore, when you speak to a Christian and try to ask them to become more Christ-like, more faith-based, it's a bit difficult for them to, I would say, change, not because they don't want to change, but then the discipline to execute the change is the problem. There are about 28 to 30% of Christians, that's about 2 point something billion Christians in the world. Just a few percent over Muslims. But how many Christ-like, faith-based, strongly faith-based Christians are there? Not as many as generally identify as Christians. And this is not to say that they're not aware of the things they should do for the most part, but it's a case of finding the discipline to execute life in the way they should be going. So that's one category of people. The second category are doctors. Now, doctors have the knowledge, they have the understanding, know how to heal the human body physiologically, psychologically, neurologically, all the logically you can think of, they know. But if knowledge was truly power, every doctor we know or every doctor I know would be the healthiest person on earth. They would know what to eat, they would know how to exercise, they would know what to avoid, they would basically do all the right things, but the knowledge is not enough. Discipline is what tips you over the edge to doing the right things. Discipline and a few other factors, but today the focus is on discipline. So I just found it interesting. If all dentists followed their own instructions, they wouldn't have bad teeth, because I've seen dentists that don't have good teeth. So I say this to buttress my point that knowledge is not the problem. Knowing what to do doesn't automatically transition to your problem being solved, doesn't automatically translate to you overcoming that challenge. And I want to speak about that. So a few things I've come to notice about being disciplined or being a disciplined person, and I'll mention just two things before we get into the point on, before we get into how we can execute more in terms of being disciplined. One of them is I find that there's a ripple effect with disciplined people. So people that are very structured in a certain part of their life, very consistent, very determined to do things a certain way, that trickles to other areas of their life. That trickles into other habits. It makes them develop. They are more functional people. Anybody you see that is very disciplined in a certain area of their life, just look at it. You see that most other areas actually work out the same way. There's a structure, there's a pattern, and it's because there's a ripple effect to discipline. Because with more discipline in one area, it becomes easier to replicate that habit in other areas of your life. I see that some people who are very structured at work, they stack their activities per time. Okay, this is what they're doing before, once they get to the office, before lunch, at this time. There's an overflow into outside work hours. When they get home, there's a similar structure, as long as the other people in their households respond to it. And same thing with fitness. I find that when you're more disciplined with your fitness, you're more interested in what you consume. You're more interested in how the rest of your day goes. You want to have a productive day, a productive week. And that's just the ripple effect of staying disciplined with your fitness and your health and so on and so forth. There are so many examples, but these are just two examples of how I feel. When you find discipline in one area, it trickles down into other areas. There's a cascade and it just bursts into other areas. So if you can focus on one thing to work on, to develop healthy habits and stick to it, it encourages you to, the joy you feel from that one thing makes you want to do the same thing or replicate it in other areas of your life. Now, the second thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to discipline, or when they're motivating you to do the right thing or to stay consistent, is that there's always this plateau that you get to. So what happens is, when you develop a new habit, or you start doing something the right way, or you start seeing results, and there's momentum that comes with it, there's excitement that comes with it, you're so joyous. But as you keep replicating that action, keep doing that thing over and over again, it becomes a mundane activity, and there's a tendency for you to hit a plateau and now dovetail back to where you started from, because it's not as exciting, it's not as interesting, it's not as fun, it's not as fulfilling as it was. But you're still getting close to your goal, you're still achieving, but then you hit that plateau, and this is where a lot of people just fall off the wagon and they're back to square one, and they feel bad and they feel depressed. And it shouldn't be that way. Just be mindful that there will come a time when you're doing the things you need to do and you're not as excited, but then there's things you still need to do. Just stay on track, don't give up, push through that plateau, and this discipline habit will be developed. So now to my major points for this episode. How can we be more disciplined? What are the things we can do to turn our knowledge into practice, into goal achievements? One, first and foremost, is self-awareness. You can't solve a problem that you're not aware that you even have. You can't fix a problem that you're ignorant of. So self-awareness is key. So you need to consistently check, have a roadmap, and check the things you need to do to arrive at the place you need to be at. So you need to constantly be checking, doing daily check-ins, weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, if you're still in line with your original plan, and then work your way that way, so that you don't end up wasting time doing the wrong thing, investing in the wrong things and the wrong people that will not add to your ultimate goal at the end of the day. So create a roadmap and the things you need to do to be the person. Okay, say you want to lose a certain number of kg. What are the things you need to do within the set period? How long do you want to do it? What do you need to eat? How much do you need to work out? What do you need to cut out? How do you need to change your lifestyle to become the version of yourself that you want to be? You don't just wing things. If you're an achiever or you want to do something and you want to do it well, you must have a roadmap. And for you to have a roadmap, you must have your priorities set. And how do you set your priorities? By doing a self-assessment on where you are in life and where it is you're heading to. So number three would be understand yourself, study your lifestyle, and pick out things that you're already good at. Pick out habits you already have. Pick out things you, like I said in the roadmap, things you want to improve on, things you want to start doing, and find ways to meld the two together. So try to stack the new habits you want to develop on the ones that already exist. Okay, what is it that I can put with something that even without thinking, I will do that thing. Okay, I want to take a new course. I want to read it for at least an hour a day. What portion of my day can I attach that study to? Okay, I want to be more intentional with prayer. Okay, what is that one thing that I always do every day, even without thinking, that I can attach it to that? Once I'm doing this thing, I'm like, okay, this is a gentle reminder. Okay, how many hours in the day am I free? What is that time of the day when I doom scroll on my phone? Okay, it's usually around this time. Let me set an alarm to perform this activity within that window so I don't waste my 24 hours. So just learn to study yourself. Write out this. Actually, this still connects to the roadmap. Write out a plan of how you're going to stack these things together so that you're more productive with your time, with your energy, and it yields results on the path that you're going. So you're not just wasting your time, because there are times that you invest in things that are good, that are productive, but then do they add up to your ultimate goal? No, they do not. They are just time wasters, they're just distractions. But are they good? On paper, yeah, they are nice. But did it yield, is it going to yield positive results on that path that you're treading? Absolutely not. So study yourself and see how that helps you. Now, the final thing I'm going to say is, once you found this rhythm, everything is fine. You know where you're headed, you know what you need to do, you know how to infuse that into your current lifestyle, your daily lifestyle. I would advise you to take advantage of the initial momentum when everything is still hot, when you're still motivated, when it's still exciting, you're trying new things and you're happy with those things that you're doing. Go as far as you can with the momentum that you're building in the beginning of this journey of discipline, and just go. Because like I said, you will hit that plateau where it's not as fun as anymore, it's not as exciting, it's not as thrilling, but you still need to get those things done. So the initial phase, when you have the energy, when you can do all these things, push to your limit and do them. It's almost like saving some energy in your power bank for the days where you don't feel like it, but you need to do it. So just propel yourself. Now, if in this entire episode you feel like, oh, you're already on the right path, you're doing all the things you need to do, there's really nothing new that you need to pick from a point of your brain health, I will still encourage you to do this first. So in neuroplasticity, they say that as you age, for your brain to function well and to stay active, you're encouraged to learn new things. So even if you've learned all the things you want to learn, you're on the right path, life is working out great for you, everything is looking good, I'll still encourage you to every now and again pick a new skill, do something new, learn a new language, pick a new hobby. Just do something new to keep yourself alive, keep your body alive, keep your mind alive. Just learn new things. So this is for those who have figured their lives out too. Our aspiration, people who are looking up to, like, wow, you have everything figured out. I will still encourage you to pick something new, learn something new, keep your life exciting, keep your mind curious, keep your body alive and agile by learning something new, doing something new. The year is still young. We're just, we're still in the first quarter of the year. So there's still time to plan, there's still time to find interesting things to do. And yeah, let's keep doing great things. So I hope this episode was helpful to someone who needs to develop the discipline. And and I honestly know that this can be frustrating, where you know the things you're supposed to be doing, you have it all planned out, but then you're not executing, and you keep wondering, oh, knowledge is power, knowledge is power, or knowledge is powerless if you're not executing or putting that knowledge to good use for yourself and your life. That knowledge is just garbage in your head. So don't let it be garbage. Take advantage of it. Do the things you need to do. And if at any point you fall off the wagon, it's really important that you encourage yourself, pick yourself back up and start again, because that is part of the momentum that you're building. If you take like 5 steps from your start point and you're 155 steps from where you want to be, and you fall off the wagon, you're still 5 steps better than you were yesterday. So don't lose hope. Pick yourself up, start again. You fall off the wagon, fall off track. Pick yourself up, start again, and slowly. It may take you a longer time to get where you want to be, but just start that journey. Okay, you want to write that book, and you're like, oh, I need like 6 months of the year, or I need 3 months to just focus. There's so much going on. There will never be a perfect time if you do not create that time, one. Or even when the constraints are real, they are beyond your control, just start in bits. Write one page, write another page, and what you think you would have done in 6 months, it may take you 3 years, but you're still going to get to that finish line. But if you never start and you're waiting for that perfect time, it will never come. You will never have your pages, and you never get to the finish line because you never started. You're waiting for the right time, you're waiting for the best motivation, you're waiting to feel that energy. So just do it. So my other microphone died as I was speaking. I don't know how far the episode went without audio, but I feel that the bulk of my message was passed across, and I hope you have a great week ahead. I hope you execute the plans that you have, and you don't just know things for the sake of knowing. You actually put them to good use. You actually execute the things you want to execute, and I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for myself. The important thing is knowing and executing and staying consistent till we start to see the results. So have a blessed week ahead, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.